Okay, we're gonna performing the Cypri trip on the Class A automatic. First thing you guys have to do when you guys get into the DMV, please make sure you check the wheels. Put what check in the front and what check in the back. That prepares the truck for everything that you guys are gonna testing, especially for the air brakes. Cypri trip. First thing I'm gonna inspect is the platform of my vehicle. From here all the way to the back at the frame of my trailer, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted. This one is well, so I'm gonna inspect all my welds, make sure it's not cracked, welded, or miswelding. It's the same way inspecting right here. I will inspect all the way around my trailer. The floor of my trailer, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. It's free of debris or any other object. I'm gonna inspect it from here all the way to the back. This one right here is a tie down. My tie down is not cracked or broken and is securely mounted, no missing hardware. My tie down is welded, so I'm going to inspect the welds. It's not cracked welding or miswelding. The same way I inspect this tie down, I will inspect every single one around my trailer. Now, I'm going to inspect my clearance lights. I have one in the other side. They're amber in color because they face in the front of the trailer. I want to make sure they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. From there, I'm going to inspect the tie hook. The same way I'm going to inspect this tie hook, I will inspect every single one. I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted. It's welded, so I'm going to inspect the welds, make sure it's not cracked, welded, no miswelding, and this tie downs from here all the way to the back. This one right here is my DOT tape. My DOT tape is not excessively worn or ripped, and it's a full contact to the vehicle. The same way I inspect this one, I will inspect every single one around my trailer. Now, I'm going to inspect my landing gear. My landing gear is on the up position. It's not cracked or broken, and my landing gear is not leaking, securely mounted, no missing hardware. My landing gear shoe, I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware, free of debris or any other contamination. I'm going to inspect the support member and the cross member for my landing gear. I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken or damaged and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. This one right here is my landing gear lever. I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. Now, I'm going to look under my trailer and I'm going to look for the cross members. The cross members for my trailer, I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. The same way I'm going to inspect these ones, I will inspect every single one all the way to the back of my trailer. From here, I'm going to walk in all the way to the back. And then you guys going to come in inside. First thing you guys going to inspect is the brake chamber. My brake chamber and my brake chamber clamp, I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken or leaking. They're securely mounted, no missing hardware. This one right here is my brake chamber hose. My brake chamber hose, I'm going to make sure it's not cracked, there's no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks, and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. Now, first thing I'm going to inspect is going to be my leaf spring hangers. I have one in here and one in the back. My leaf spring hangers, I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. This one right here is my leaf spring bushing. My leaf spring bushing, I'm going to make sure it's not excessively worn or torn and securely mounted, no missing hardware. This one right here is my torsion bar. My torsion bar, I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. Now I'm going to inspect my leaf springs. My leaf springs, I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken or shifting and they're securely mounted by 2 U-bolts, shim, spacers, and 4 nuts. Now, with that, I inspect every single part at the inside. Now I'm going to inspect my wheels. First thing I'm going to inspect is my inside half seal and my outside half seal. I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken or leaking and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. If my half seal was leaking, I will see puddle or spin trail. If I need to add a fluid, I will add it to the cap. The cap is not cracked or broken or leaking and is securely mounted. From there, I'm going to come in inside and then I'm going to start inspecting my brake liners. My brake liners, they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. They're not allowed to have less than 1/4 of the inch of the thinnest point of the material. Now I'm going to inspect my brake drum. My brake drum is not cracked or broken and is securely mounted. Doesn't have any sign of decoloration indicating the overheating problem. Between my brake liners and my brake drum, they're free of debris, grease, or any other contamination. Now from here, I'm going to inspect my two rims, calling bad rims. This is my inside rim, my outside rim, my inside rim, and my outside rim. I want to make sure my two rims, they're not cracked or broken, and they're securely mounted. There's no illegal holes or illegal welds. My two rims in my brake drum, they're securely mounted by the lug nuts. All my lug nuts, they're present, they're on the tight position. They don't crack or broken or have any distortion. If one of my lug nuts was loose, I will see rusty in these metal rims. I want to mention that in between my two rims, there's no daylight, and it's a full contact. I'm going to mention them between my two tires, free of debris or any other object. Now I'm going to be specific on my two tires. I'm going to inspect my inside tire, the outside tire, inside tire, and the outside tire, and the face of my two tires. I want to make sure there's no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks, and they're securely sitting to my trims. Now this is a trailer tires. They're allowed to be regrouped, recap, or retread, but they're not allowed to have less than 430 seconds of the deepest point. The air specification of my trailer tires is 120 psi or manufacturer specification. To check the air or to add air to my tires, I will do it to the valve stamp, weigh the tire gauge. Now, I'm going to inspect my valve stamps. I have two. I have one in here, and the other one is right in here. My valve stamps, I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken or leaking, and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. The cap for my valve stamp, I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware, and it's not leaking. Now from here, I'm going to inspect my mouth flaps. My mouth flaps, I'm going to make sure they're not ripped or torn or excessively warm. My mouth flaps, they're not cracked or broken, and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. My mouth flaps, they have proper distance to the tire and proper distance to the ground. From my mouth flaps, I want to inspect the clearance light on this side of the trailer. The clearance light on this side of the trailer is red in color because it's facing the back of the trailer. I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. Now, I'm going to come into the back of the trailer. First thing I'm going to inspect is going to be these lights right here and the lights right there. The lights on the back of my trailer, they're red in color because they face in the back of the trailer. I'm going to make sure they're not cracked or broken and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. The function of these lights is my left turn signal, my right turn signal, my forward flashes, my running lights, and my brake lights. Now, I'm going to inspect this light right here. It's a clearance light. It's red in color because it's facing the back of the trailer. I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. This one right here is a reflectable light. I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken, securely mounted, no missing hardware. It's red in color because it's facing the back of the trailer. From here, I'm going to inspect it. I don't have a license plate light, so I don't want to mention. I'm going to come into this side of the trailer. And then I'm going to inspect my toolbox. My toolbox, I'm going to make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware, and it's on the lock position. Now you guys are going to come into the back. You guys are going to put yourself right here. And start thinking, is you guys missing something on your zipper trip? If you guys not missing nothing in your zipper trip, all you guys have to say, I will inspect this side of the vehicle the same way I inspect the other side. Now I'm going to start inspecting my couplings. This is how you guys are going to inspect the couplings and the automatic truck for the Class A. First thing I'm going to inspect is going to be my emergency line and my service line. I'm going to make sure there's no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or leaks, and they're securely mounted. They're securely mounted to my tractor, and they're securely mounted to my trailer. They're securely mounted to my trailer with the glass hands and the glass hand receivers. I'm going to make sure my glass hand and my glass hand receivers, they're not cracked or broken, and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. The rubber seal in between my glad hand and my glad hand receivers is not excessively worn or torn, and it will not leak. And then, when you guys say it's securely mounted to my tractor, make sure there's no crack or broken, and they're securely mounted, no missing hardware. Now I'm going to inspect my electrical cord. My electrical cord is securely mounted to my tractor, and it's no exposed wire, no frayed wire, properly routed, and securely mounted. And it's securely mounted to my trailer on the junction box. Okay? Because there's no exposed wire, no frayed wire, and it's properly routed, I'm gonna make sure it's not electrical tape or black tape. I'm gonna mention that my two hoses and my electrical cord is a proper distance on the catwalk. Now I'm gonna inspect the apron on my trailer. The apron on my trailer, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted. This one is weld, so I'm gonna inspect the welds, make sure it's not cracked welding, no miswelding. This one right here is my fifth wheel. My fifth wheel, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted. I'm gonna mention that between my apron and my fifth wheel is no daylight and it's properly greased. From here, I'm gonna inspect my fifth wheel lever. I'm gonna make sure it's on the lock position, it's not cracked or broken, and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. My fifth wheel is securely mounted to my platform by the pin and cutter pin. My platform is securely mounted to the frame. I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken, and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. My frame on my platform is securely mounted to the frame of the vehicle. I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken, and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware. From here, I'm gonna walk into the back, and I'm gonna go under the vehicle. Now right in here is my kingpin. My kingpin, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted. This one is weld, so I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked, welding, no miswelding. And it's on the lock position by the locking jaw. My locking jaw, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked or broken and it's securely mounted, no missing hardware, and it's on the lock position around the shank of the kingpin. With that, you guys gonna come in back, exit the trailer, and then you guys gonna mention between my landing gear and my vehicle is a proper distance to perform a 90-degree turn. That completes my couplings.